you know, I usually ignore the Halo hate videos, but, well, let's just say there was one and I literally just found online, that wanted to call Halo Infinite a dumpster fire. And I don't want to watch the whole video because I don't want to give them the view time, but it's also over an hour long of just ragging on Halo Infinite. Some points are valid, and some points are not so valid. I mean, they're allowed to have their opinion, for sure. But to call Halo Infinite a dumpster fire when all this person seems to care about is the Halo Infinite campaign. There's like one small section of multiplayer. Yeah, there's in the hour-long thing there is a little bit of multiplayer. Let me mute it. And I'll see what they're what it looks like they're actually playing, what time they're actually playing on. Because this thing's an hour long. They could have been editing it for like a month. What season is this? Is this Infection? Huh. Interesting. So they were playing recently. But regardless, people still seem to think that Halo is a dumpster fire of a game and belongs in the trash, and 343 bad. And I don't understand the whole, like, everyone's up on their high horse, like, I said 343 is bad, Bungie gods praise me or some shit. Like, I don't understand it. 343, as like the person I think could point out in the video, like something that clicked in my brain. There's still this concept that 343 is like solely to blame for, like, you know, what is in these people's minds the Halo Infinite sucking. But like, Microsoft owns the franchise. They push. They have some directional push on where the series goes. It's not like the 343 is the only one can make the shots. The reason why Halo Infinite, whether you agree with me or not, is in a good place and it's getting all these content updates and is finally getting some cross-core stuff being worked on slowly, is because Microsoft stepped in finally, fucking finally, and got rid of the big three people that were running this game into the ground since the beginning. The bulk of the devs don't deserve any flack for Infinite. In fact, they're the ones working hard and trying to make this game a great game. I think it's Pete. No, that's different. Who's the guy? The guy that did the MCC. Who the fuck is his name? I used to have his name memorized. But like, the guy that did the MCC is one of the people that got put in charge, along with two other people, I think. 2 or 3, maybe, other people. Yeah. So the guy doing the MCC, that is, he's moved on to work on Infinite, and ever since like a few months after, you know, him being put as lead, we've been seeing like so much stuff, and it's only picked up this season. Player counts were on the rise for this game, and then people were like, I commented on this video because I was just like, you gotta call people out sometimes. You gotta call people out for being shitty and just not being factual about things, even though sometimes it's opinions. But even then, some people will try to make their opinions like factual and stuff. Like, this guy was like, right off the bat was trying to say that like you know, the devs like want to kill Halo and stuff, and like cherry picking edits and stuff to, you know, incite rage in the viewer and whatnot, and like make, you know, one headline saying that from like ages ago, or maybe it's people that 343 hired people that hate Halo or some stuff like that, and cherry picking headlines. It's just like, you know, what is up with the hate campaign? I get people like miss Bungie, but Bungie's like worse than 343, because, you know, the people that work at Bungie that worked on Halo no longer work at Bungie. Like, literally none of them. I think maybe there's like maybe 2 or 3 people, maybe. But, you know, Bungie didn't want to do Halo anymore. They left. obviously everyone knows this. And yes, 343 was kind of assigned to pick up the mantle, and so Halo 4's multiplayer was a dumpster like fire. You could say that. It was still worked, but it was terrible. It wasn't buggy, but it was terrible. It felt like COD because they outsourced it, I think, to a different company to do it or something. So that was Halo 4's major problem, but Halo 4's story was nice. I'd actually read the book at the time. Halo 5, there's people have their gripes with that too. There's always like something, 343 can't be the good guys. There's always going to be an outlet community that's going to rag on them for something. I believe when I was psyched for Halo 5 at the time, Halo 5's story got a lot of hate. And it is a bad story compared to Halo 4's. Halo 4's story was really good. I think the majority of the community says they liked 4's story. The execution of the story was especially the final boss being like QTE was like terrible, but the story itself was good. The 5 story sucked, but the multiplayer and the updates were good. They once again improved on like Forge and stuff a lot in Halo 5. And Warzone was fun. I spent many hours with my friend. Yes, they had the rec pack system, but you want to know what they didn't do? They didn't lock progression behind a paywall, and you could essentially lock everything for free in the game. And yeah, it was a bit grindy, and you couldn't get like armor specific unlocks except for their Killian series and stuff, and they still need to work on, achievement based unlocks and stuff like that. But the whole you can just play the game and unlock stuff was nice. And if you look at Overwatch, we used to play and unlock stuff there, and they very well could have just completely fucked it like Overwatch has, and now you can't unlock anything by just playing the game. And so honestly, not that we need to stoop our standards down to Overwatch, but we've seen what Overwatch has become, and that's what it looks like to be a cash cow. And here we have Infinite. There are unlockable armors through playing the campaign if you bought it. Obviously the multiplayer is free, and the unlockables aren't that great, I'm not gonna lie, but there is some stuff there, some emblems and some stuff. It's very kind of basic, but at the same time, there was some thought put into it. The campaign in this game was fun to play through. It was fun, wrapping around the open world and doing some side objectives. The main mission areas were obviously the highlight of this campaign. I liked the main mission areas the most. I think that's where a lot of people pretty much liked it. But it was also fun just loading up a Razorback full of Marines. Like you got to fight alongside Marines a lot more than you had in any other thing, at least for a lot of the non-mission areas. But even in the mission areas, there was actually a lot of Marines you could free scratch that. There was Marines everywhere that you could fight alongside, and I think that was honestly one of my favorite parts about the campaign. So yes, 343 makes some missteps along the way, but they're trying their best because they want Halo to be the best. They're not trying to screw over Halo, and I hate hearing that sentiment online. Why? This is their job. They don't want this game to fail. Their livelihoods depend on it. They're not trying to, I don't get this sentiment. Even you wouldn't actively sabotage. I'm pretty sure the people at BioWare didn't actively try to sabotage the Mass Effect series. They were probably they did eventually with Andromeda and some other shit. They made too many missteps, and now I don't know where that company is at. But I think people like to so often like remove the human factor kind of things. I'm sure the Bonnie Ross and all of them, even though they were terrible, what they did at the Halo Infinite was terrible, and current devs, were still trying to make up for whatever direction those three were trying to push this game. They're still trying to make up for the technical debt, the whole core system. The coatings, some of the coatings look nice. The coatings in this game, whether you like them or hate them, you couldn't really get the one I can show here. You couldn't get like a gold tinge, like shiny metal thing on your Infinite, any of your armor in past games. There's certain textures on here, and I'd love them to play around with more of those textures and stuff in these coatings. Now, this Infinite shop, because this game is free to play, hate it, like it, I think they just need to offer single sell items, especially when crosscore is added. Like, all visors are crosscore, but I'd love to just be able to buy, like, say you like this green visor, it really speaks to you. They just need to, like, they need to add single purchase items while they're working on all this crosscore stuff, because sometimes I just want to buy a bundle. I don't want to buy a bundle, and I just want like a cool knife. Like it'd be cool to have a knife on the side of my hip for a Spartan, but I might not want all this other stuff. They need to add single purchase items more to the game. This pose right here is also pretty sick, by the way. And so maybe you just want a pose here or there, and other than that, there's obviously a lot of things that other major thing they need to work on. Besides those two things, is just outside the U.S. I live in the U.S. I don't have a problem with this, but I know people outside the U.S. have a problem with finding matches because of the strict skill-based matchmaking system, and they need to look into minimizing that to where people in Australia and New Zealand, whatever, these lower population areas, they need to like take the ban off people connecting into the US use of a VPN, and there's a lot of server side things that need to be fixed, matchmaking things that need to be fixed still. People outside the US, or not near the US. But other than that, like, they just keep the content coming. We've gotten so many new maps, so many like returning game modes. I shouldn't say new because Husky Raid isn't new. Squad Battle? I'm trying to think. I can't remember if Squad Battle was in Halo 5 or not. I know we had BTV and Warzone. But yeah, Ranked Tactical is, and they switch out the ranked playlist and stuff. We have, look at this. We got a lot of stuff. This is a lot more than the four modes. What we have? We had ranked arenas, social arenas, or something like that, bot boot camp, and like BTB unlaunched, and that's all we had. And now we have all this. If you want to play Infection, it's there. You want Fiesta, it's there. You don't want to play BTB, but you do want more than 4 people. Bam, Squad Battle, there to stay. I don't know if Husky Raid's gonna stay, but even if it doesn't, you could, you can still, we have a customs game browsers now. If you want to go on and play Delfino Plaza from Mario Sunshine, you can go on there and play. This even has 8 people on it. Like, there's Minecraft, Sand Trap stuff, like, there is so much things. I just played this game on my Switch. Like, then look at these. You know it's a high quality edit when they put a their own like little thing on it in the little screen card. It's not just a map capture. Like, who's making these maps, man? Like Clocktown from Majora's Max. I to be fair, I never got out of Clocktown when I played that. I died like in the town, just completely lost. But it's an older style game. But yeah, like, don't know. I've gone far too long about this. So I'm just gonna leave it at this. You know, like it, hate it. 343 isn't evil. The devs, at least, you know, they're not out to harm Halo. In fact, they're doing a lot of good for it. Whether or not you like that is alright. But this game is objectively not a dumpster fire. It's not a bad game. You know, objectively speaking. You know, you might not like the campaign, but the campaign isn't bad. It's not bug-filled nightmare hell stew. You know, where you know you can't progress everything because a bug won't let you. You know, I think that would be an objectively bad game. Anything campaign that was like unpleasing to look at, unpleasing to play, and you couldn't do stuff in the game even when you were trying to, that would be objectively bad. Now you can dislike the campaign, how it's set up. That's fine. It's an open world campaign, and I will say it kind of. I do like the open worldness, but a linear Halo campaign is a lot more replayable. One thing that gets me with the Infinite campaign is the replayability. You can replay like certain missions, and that's fine. They added that in I think like midway in season 2 or 1, I think, maybe towards the end of season 1. But it would be nice. It is easier to go back and replay like a mission or two from the older Halo games, and comparing the numbers between MCC and Halo Infinite should not be some basis of whether a game is good or not. Because let's just face it, some people just love the old school, and those people are, you know, you don't have to hate on the new game. If all you want to play is the old school, then play the old school. There's a reason why the MCC exists and still gets like content updates, at least for PC, for like mod support and stuff. Like, it's because it's there for you if you like it. But I feel like some people play the MCC. Like, maybe I don't know if these people even are on the MCC, but like if you're on the MCC, you don't have to like Infinite. If you know you're like, oh, I want to play old school, why can't this be old school? I mean, I don't know how much clearly, like, it's all right not to like something, but yeah, I don't know. Anyways, y'all take care of yourself, and don't let people try to tell you what you like is not good, because it's all that really matters at the end of the day is if you like something, and you should do it. Stay healthy.